Welcome to the first session of Dungeons & Dragons. Dungeons & Dragons is a game. Nay, a theatrical experience, which takes place within the gardens of our minds. We play in a world created by me, but explored by you. D&D is a way for us to explore our own identities, by taking on new ones. Our journey begins in the city of Menzoberranzan. The darkness which covers the region of subterranean metropolis is complete. If a surface dweller were to find himself betwixt its savage stalactites, he would surely see nothing but the black void before him. But if he stayed long enough, the darkness might drive him mad. His eyes might begin to play tricks on him, telling him of shapes that weren't really there. He might see the silhouette of a man, whose eyes held a look of despair, deeper than the darkness itself. A man with white, flowing hair, and skin of a dark pastel purple. He stood overhunched. His posture betrayed his sorrow. At hand and foot, he was bound with enchanted shackles. His eyes were orbs of perfect white, and they saw the heat of the things around him. There was a faint glow of a handprint on the door of the chambers into which he was to be judged. Suddenly, the deep female voice that could belong to no one other than a matron mother sounded from within the chamber. "Bring in the criminal," she commanded. You see before you a small council of elder Drow from the house Fain Tlabar. Their eyes watch you as you take your position at the altar at which you are to be judged. In the pit which separates you and the others, there is an extra-dimensional rift, which reveals an infernal prison. Although the rift is quite large, you can only make out a part of the demon's eye as it presses hard into the magical prison's bars. Even its single eye is almost too terrible to behold. I must hand it to him. I did not expect a male would be capable of summoning something so powerful, said the Tlabar High Priestess to her matron mother. The mother ignored the comment. You are here to answer for what you've done. This psionic demon construct you've made is an aberration unlike anything we've thus far encountered. Your recklessness was the brutal end of two of my most elite anti-mage warrior squads. For the trouble you've caused me, I should have subject you to endless torment that would melt the mind of lesser blood males. Ah, but honored matron mother, this one is of low birth, said Rexel, the weapons master of House Fain Tlabar. Fuck, that's the wrong music. Okay, that's the right music.
Oh, you're in the shy.
Quick as blinking, the matron mother summoned a six-tail whip behind the weapons master and telekinetically used it to flog him several times. Do not lie to me. It is not your place, male. Now what house do you serve, demonic one? Baenre? No. Duskrin? She asked. She's talking to you, Balron.
Let me die. I have nothing to say to you.
I would kill you if I had the ability to get rid of this psionic demon construct. But it seems only you have the power to destroy what you have created. Otherwise, we can only imprison it in this extra-dimensional construct prison. I would prefer...
I interrupt her and say, doesn't that undermine your entire authority over this place? Not having the ability to control what a male can summon?
It does indeed, male. Which is why I am curious about you. How could you even have come across this sort of magical power? The ability to make demonic constructs is an emergent art still mostly unknown to even the most powerful of mages. Balron's eyes unfocus, and he allows his mind to be hypnotized momentarily by the flickering magical flames which emanate from the demon's astral prison. 1 year earlier. Balron is currently running along a series of railroad tracks deep within a Blingdenstone cavern in the Underdark. Blingdenstone lies behind him, and he's running away from it. And Balron is clutching an ancient tome. And on the top of the tome, inscribed in gold emblazoned words, the Atlas of Demonology. Behind him, he hears the clanging sound of mostly gnome metal boots And he also hears the crackling noise of a greater stone golem rolling its way along the tracks towards him. Of course, he's being pursued by these gnomes and their golem construct because he stole the Atlas of Demonology. In fact, the entire campaign really taking place in the memory of Balron, in case you haven't picked that up yet. But as you're sneaking up, an arrow, poison dart hit the scout and the shaman respectively.
Come out of the bushes with your hands up.
I don't say anything, but I'm Dark Elf, so I motion for him to be quiet, and then I start signing to him that impressive kills, but there's a bigger loot score on the way. If you assist me with it, I'll split it into the loot in thirds. I say it's all in the time.
I just nod in the corner.
Okay, so you sign that you agree to his plan? Okay, you use Flames of Theglos?
Yes.
Alright, it's 14 damage.
Can I shrug to Balron with both my hands up, asking him the question?
Yeah, you can sign to him. Sign to him, because Dark Elves have sign abilities. You can sign if you want.
That's what I did.
What do you sign to him?
I just shrug.
That doesn't mean anything. You can literally say anything you want with your sign language. Like,
Balron can interpret what it means.
you just shrug? That's not even Drow's sign. You just shrug at him? Alright.
I shrug with both my hands up.
Okay.
I shake my head out. I'm like, are you retarded? Yeah.
I'm gonna use my twin strike and I'm gonna kill the two guys behind.
You missed both.
I continue in sign language, say, well done. I'll let you guys have everything here. When you're done looting, I have a proposition.
I'm Cinder Millarn, and this is my cousin.
Oh, is your sole allegiance to the matron mothers of Millarn?
We're out soul searching right now, so I can't say that definitively.
Well, I have found my soul at an early age. Being forced to being whipped and abused by 13-year-old dark elf females. And the thing was, I could decimate them all in combat. So I made a decision a long time ago to leave my original lowborn status and create a mercenary group really devoted to one thing, which is acquiring power.
Acquiring what?
Power.
Sorry, I still didn't catch that.
You didn't?
No, what? You're acquiring?
I started a mercenary group. Really, the main purpose of acquiring magical items and other forms of power.
As you're moving up, you see a fuck ton of blood. Like a literal fuck ton of blood.
I'm gonna look to the boys. Oh shit. Let's start creeping forward, like really close. Keep it tight.
I'm gonna shrug and say, so to speak.
Kind of propped up against the wall in sort of a tired and dejected way is another drow. And this drow is dressed in a red robe that has a spider on it. Obviously an homage to Lolth, the spider god of Dark Elves. And you can see that he has some tattoos on his bald head that seem to indicate something. Cinder has really good history, so Cinder knows that the tattoos on the head like that indicate that this person is a psionic wielder of psionic power. And you see that he's covered in blood, literally from head to toe covered in blood. And what's interesting is that it's not his blood. You can tell because his blood, Dark Elf blood, wouldn't be so red. By the way, Riley, this is you, dude.
I sign to them and I tell them there are kobolds ahead. I just killed a dozen.
I sign again. Who the fuck are you?
I sign back no one.
Okay, the Kobold Archer takes a shot at Cinder. You had one action point. Did you
I would
want
like
to
to
use
use it to make a kinetic barrier to protect Cinder from the arrow.
it? Okay, go for it. You got Arcana. That's me, Arcana. Alright, so the arrow would have hit Cinder and likely killed him if Hazofane had not quickly opened up a transparent kinetic barrier around Cinder, which caused the arrow to go glancing off.
I'm gonna do a stealth check, I guess. Oh, neat.
Alright, so you rolled a 1, which means that you did a critical failure. A critical failure means that you actually did something wrong. Alright, so in this case you hit one of the pieces of loose masonry on the wall in front of you and caused the wall to collapse entirely. but Cinder Malorn does a back handspring and then does a front handspring after bouncing off the wall. He does a kickoff of the back of the Spirit Bear and lands behind the Spirit Bear. Now the Spirit Bear uses an action point to maul in the opposite direction towards Cinder, tracking him. Okay, Cinder is able to do another back handspring, which he does like a 1-2 against the wall here, to the wall here, and then he does a quadruple front flip over the Spirit Bear.
And I use my daily mental trauma, trying to render his brain useless.
Gotcha. You crit against him, causing him to... his brain literally melts inside of his head, and he dies. He opens the book, and he takes it into his hands and starts looking through it. Now, Cinder, I'm going to take you on a different channel in Discord to tell you what you see, because I don't necessarily want everyone else to know what you see. I want you to decide whether you tell them what you see or not, okay? So you guys see Cinder reading the book over there, and he seems to be studying it closely. What do you choose to do?
Is about.
Yeah, so Hazofane looks at the sheet in Cinder's hands and sees that the sheet in Cinder's hands is empty. There's nothing in Cinder's hands except for an empty piece of paper. But Hazofane knows from reading Cinder's mind that Cinder saw a list of things that explain what those potions do in Balron's backpack.
So Cinder right now is not lying, but he is holding information.
He is withholding information,
that
yeah.
I do not do.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to withhold any information. You read my mind. I would prefer it if you didn't ever do that again.
And this is where we're going to end today's session. A little bit of a tense point, you know? You guys are a little pissed at each other. But we'll see what happens next time.
Thank you for participating in this Captain PJ computer-aided enrichment activity.